There. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning business chat. As most of you all know, we do these calls every Thursday morning just to share tips, strategies, ideas, a little bit of training here and there, and sometimes Q&A. And typically these calls kind of evolve out of our Wednesday morning director and above call. We have a leadership mastermind call we do every Wednesday with folks that have achieved the director or above level. And out of those calls, there's usually some juicy stuff coming out and the idea of for today's training. And that happened yesterday. We had a special guest on, I can't say a special guest because he's on a lot of our calls. He's a special guest at our house because our enroller and founding senior presidential director, Kai Jacobson, and his lovely, beloved Lynette are here in Bozeman, Montana, hanging out with us for about a week. And so he's a special guest at our house, and he was on the director's call yesterday and came up with a training that caught everybody. I think it was kind of spontaneous. I don't know if it was planned or not, but and it doesn't have to be planned because he's only been involved in this industry for what, 45 years? You know, so, yeah. So he's got me from, I'm only 34 years, so I'm a youngster, right? So, he's just very spontaneous. He came up with an idea or 4 points of leadership, and that's going to be our focus. So I'm going to go ahead and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to maximize the screen here so you can see us, and pretty soon you're going to see him. So say good morning, Kai.
Hi, everybody. It's wonderful being here with Gregory and Robin. They're really amazing. Just all in their heart and work really, really consistently, and have built just amazing food. And it's just been really a pleasure to see them flourish and create a wonderful universe. That's really what it is.
Yeah, and it just keeps growing. It's blossoming. It's like we're moving into some pretty exciting momentum, coming out of pandemic, going into uncharted territories in the future. But while some businesses are floundering, when other businesses are floundering, usually network marketing flourishes because people are looking for a plan B or a plan C. And as Connie Lucas was saying on yesterday's call, this came along as a plan C and it's now our plan A, because it's working so well. So we've got a little training. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and bring up a PowerPoint that, that Liz, God bless her, in her creativity, she created this wonderful PowerPoint that Kai is going to go ahead and do a real-time training. So I'll leave it to you, Helen, to keep welcoming people in, and Kai, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. So they see the little postage stamp of me there, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. Well, this is very simple. I mean, a lot of people in network marketing are really kind of like deer in the headlight. They don't know what to do. It's such a different animal. Our business is very different than traditional businesses. And it's based on relationships, and it's not really, people think, oh, I don't like to do sales, all that. And it really isn't about sales. It's really about sharing and follow up and very, very simple things. So this training is really about bringing down our business into a simplicity, because it's something that everyone can succeed at. It's one of the simplest businesses to do, but the hardest one to do. I know it's a paradox, really, because it's so easy. What you have to do is so fundamentally easy, but most people have they do everything but the simple, what I call income producing activities. And they do all these other things, but they don't really produce the results that you want. And yet it's simple, but it's hard to do because it involves one thing that's probably the place that you have to really explore if this is really the right business for you. And that is about people. It's about connecting and caring and listening. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. It's about listening a lot and caring and asking good questions. And that's not for everybody. It's many people can do it. It's not that hard, but it's just you have to look if that's within your repertoire, your nature, that you feel comfortable with that. So let's go through these 4 points of leadership and what I call team building. So let me hit the thing and see if it goes. Gregory, I might need a little help on that. We're going to go to the next slide. There it is.
Okay, it should be now.
Okay, so the 4 points of leadership. Okay, here's the slides. Liz, this is really fun. You made it very beautiful. So the first thing is to think big. And when I came here to Gregory and Robin's house, I had this, aha moment. They have a beautiful home here in Montana, but what was really impressive is that the whole downstairs floor is their offices. They have 2 offices, and it's a big house. And, they have their bedrooms and living room and kitchen and all that stuff upstairs and a couple extra bedrooms. But downstairs is their kind of business center. And I was amazed at how big their office was. I have just one desk. I think Gregory has 3 or 4 desks that are all like lined up in shelves with books, and Robin had her own independent office. It was huge. I mean, these are 40 feet by 20 feet offices, and each of them almost maybe not quite 30 by 20. And so what I came up with is think big. If you want a big business, it's kind of like that movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. Build it and he will come. He built this baseball field in a cornfield, and you wouldn't ever think that the baseball players would come, but in that movie they did. So if you want a really big business, think outside the box, set up your space, think big, dream big. I think they even have assistants that help them. So, if you want a small business, then think small. But if you want a big business, prepare for it and set up the environment for that to occur. And one way to do that great too is, and I'm sure Robin at some point might do a training on it, is dream boards. I'm a big fan of dream boards. So a dream board or vision board is where you, I'll just say very succinctly, you put an image in your workspace that helps you envision it. It's a metaphysical truth that one dimension is like writing down. Like, so if you wrote down all the elements that you'd like to have in your life, you could write a list of that, like how much, put a dollar amount on how much you'd like to be making per month, what you'd like to, be able to do, like to help your children or to help feed the planet, the world, or whatever your good works are, or you'd like to be traveling or be able to take care of health issues, write that all down. But then the next thing is to take it to 2 dimensions and create a dream board or vision board. And so then you take what you wrote, which is what I call 1 dimension, and put it into a visual. And you put it, you cut out of magazines, go out of, find great magazines like Oprah has a great magazine. I think it's called O. House of Better, Better House and Living. I don't buy a lot of magazines, but find some really good magazines with beautiful pictures. Go down to a dealership of the exact car you want, and have a model driving the car in the color you want. The more specific you can make it. And then you want to get pictures of yourself and your family and loved ones and cut your faces out, literally, and glue them with little paste sticks on the model. So it's you driving the car. It's you cut out silhouette of you and your beloved and your children or whatever, your grandchildren, in front of the house that you want. And sayings that you like, that create a world of peace or whatever you see, little headlines, things you want to put it on there, and take time and make a beautiful dream board and make it very custom with you, with pictures of you, your face in front of the things and activities that you really want, and make it something you really is what your vision is. Don't skimp on it, and put it up right where you're making your phone calls. It will help you when you're making these phone calls to do 3 ways and with strangers to know why you're doing this. And the dream board is very, very, very important. So don't skimp on that. Think big, plan for a great change in your life. So the second step that you do once you kind of created this platform, by the way, just going back to that other slide, Tony Robbins has a great training in Personal Power 2, I think it's called. And he says that, one of the images he uses is an airplane. And he says that an airplane, when a jet takes off, it's very heavy, and it will never get to Paris. Let's say you're in New York and you're flying to Paris, unless you know where Paris is. If you don't know where Paris is, on the map, you'll never get there. So that's why these goals are so important, is if you don't have intention of what you want to be creating in your life from this business, you will never arrive there. So that's where the dream board comes in. It's kind of like putting the pin on the map of, where Paris is. This is your Paris. And then the next thing is to get it off the ground. The planes are very heavy. Most people don't realize that they use over 50% of their gas, the fuel in the plane. Like when you go from New York to Paris, over half of the fuel is used in the first 10 minutes getting it off the ground. It takes a massive action. And the next 7 hours is the other half, just to go for 7 hours as opposed to the first 10 minutes. So getting your business off the ground is a lot of effort, and it's all about inviting and sorting. And so what our business is simply getting on the phone. Like, I don't know how many people, because I'm seeing the PowerPoint in front of me. I can't see everyone's faces, but the question I always ask is, how many people do you have on your cell phone, in your directory, and in your email directory? Most people have a couple hundred people that they have on their email list, people that they know, and people in their directory right on their phone. Well, you use the InTouch app, and you're going to invite every single person on all those two lists to come and take a look at a video. Basically, you're going to invite people, and then you're going to work with the willing. And if you have a couple hundred people, the numbers are very, very well known. It's about 4 people out of 100 will join you. If you have 100 people, you'll be able to bring 4 people into your business if you invite them and then follow up with them. If you have 1,000 people, personally, I have 4,000 people on my directory on my phone. And of course, your Facebook contacts too. You can do Facebook contacts, your phone directory, and many people, the average person has about 200 to 500 people. So if you have, let's say, 500 people, that means that 40 people over time will get involved in your business. 4 out of every 100. I'm sorry, 4 times 500 is 20 people. And then you do the exact same thing with those you teach them to do the same thing. So those 20 people now have, on the average, 200 to 500 people in their contact base. And you drill down and you start working with the willing and helping them. So you can, of course, there's ways to develop new cold leads, but I've always been able to build my businesses from my warm market, literally, and then drill down and help the people that who come in and help them with their warm market contacts, and keep drilling down. In a binary pay plan like we have, and with the matches, you can work infinitely deep into your group. So the whole thing is to invite people. And the key is using the InTouch app and literally inviting them to take a look at a video, sending them a sample if you'd like to, and following up. So the next thing here is it's working with the willing. So it's absolutely true that, a lot of people think if you love a person enough, and if you want it enough for them, and if you buy the product for them, and if you make a bunch of calls for them, that's going to get them going. It doesn't. Your job is to sort. It's not to convince. And so there's going to be that's why I said 4 out of 100 will be willing the first time. And you can go around to that same list 6 months later and approach it again. People's lives have shifted. And when their life is in a place where this actually makes sense for them, in the timing of their life, you'll find a whole nother set of 4 will come out of that same 100 people 6 months later. It's pretty amazing. So you really want to not want it more for them than they want it for themselves. You just want to keep sorting until you find people who are really keen to do this, and then really work with them. And they'll find the keen people will have more keen people associated with them. The people that you're kind of pulling along will have all people that you have to pull along with them. It's kind of funny. They come in groups like that. So work with the willing and sort. This is once you start having a team, we call it pointing in the right direction. And what that means is once you start having a team of people, you're going to have lots of questions coming towards you. Like, how does the pay plan work? Or where do I put this patch? or blah, blah, blah. There's 101, probably 501 questions that you're going to get asked. And instead of being the source and answering it for everybody, I like to say we have 10 fingers. We have one mouth, so we should talk a little less and listen a lot more with 2 ears. But when it comes to now getting asked lots of questions, we have 10 fingers. So we can point a lot of places, and it will save you so much more time and it will teach people the right thing, and it will be much more duplicatable where it can be successful. Whereas when you are the source, not everyone can be the source. Not everyone has the ability to verbalize everything and know everything, especially in the beginning. You don't know everything. So learn the tools. Gregory and Robin in the Live Younger group have created an incredible amount of tools with the newsletters, with the Facebook pages, with the Live Younger success website. There's so many tools that has everything. So take some time and plan, treat LifeWave as a business. If you treat it as a hobby, it will cost you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. And so treating it like a business means that you take a little time and organize, create a little book that you have where you can direct people to a link or a website for each thing. Like list the first 100 primary questions you get asked. How does a pay plan work? Well, Emily's created 4 really great videos that do it, that explain it. Say, oh, that's such a great question. You always want us to be really positive and say, that's a great question. This is where you can find, supposed to, oh, let me tell you all about it. And then all of a sudden you're on a half an hour or an hour phone call that you could have been inviting more people and sorting until you found those real people that really go for it and build a big business. And if you can save your time, like 2 or 3 hours a day for more inviting and less telling all the answers to everything, and direct people so that when they get asked the question, they don't have to call you up and say, could you tell how the pay plan works again? You could say they know now how to point to where that source is. And sure, if somebody takes the time to watch all 4 of those videos, what I tell people, because one of the big ones is how do I get paid? How does the pay plan work? Well, I won't explain that to people unless they take the time and invest into watching the video. And what I say is, I always say, watch it once, write down any questions you have, watch it a second time, and see if you get your questions answered now, because a whole nother set of things sink in the second time, and then call me. And I'll answer it. Because if I just tell you the whole video and all the answers, it's just going to go in one ear and out the other ear. It's too much information. It's something you have to really put a little time into. It's like going back to school and studying. How do I get paid? That's a very important thing. And you might have to put a few hours or 3 hours into really understanding how it works. It's not something you can just explain to somebody and they get it. It's something you have to invest some time into. So learn how to point in the right direction. It will free up a huge amount of time. And a piece in this too is work with the right people. The people that are really building and doing stuff, you want to invest more time into. They might seem like they know what they're doing. Put more time in, and then that's why this is so important with people that maybe aren't much builders and they want to talk about how much this hurts and what do I do about it? And I'm talking to my doctor. That's why this pointing is so good. It's like, watch this video. It'll tell you where to place the patch and things like that. You want to save your time to work with 3-way calls with the people that are bringing you people that are really interested. And this is the 4th point, the follow-up. And that's where the 3-way calls come in. And it's really important. The most people can do all those other things. And the follow-up is where a lot of people fall through the cracks and the holes. Is the money and the income that you make is made in the follow-up. If you don't follow up, all that effort you put out is for waste. So you want to basically respond. And the WhatsApp, the InTouch app is so great because it lets you know when someone watched a video. So the way I do the follow-up is, you might want to write this down if you have a pen. I'm going to give it to you as quick as I can. There are 3 steps to it. The first step is, I say, did you get a chance to watch the video? Even though I know they did, because I just saw it. So I said, did you get a chance? And they'll say, yeah, I just watched the video, which you know. So the second question is very important. You say, what did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best? You're framing it in a positive thing. You're not saying, did you like the video? You say, what did you like best? And they will tell you their hot button. It might be, for Robin, it was her knees. Like, I want to get my knees worked on. For somebody else, be stem cells is such a great business. I can make so much money. Stem cells are like the cutting edge of science. Another person might be, you know, I just want to feel more energy in my life, or sleep better, or whatever. You write down. I keep a little index card. I usually keep a little index card and put just 2 words or 3 words by their name, knees, or, you know, sleep better, or great business, you know, stem cells. So that when I follow up with them the second time, I know what their hot button is. And then you say back to them, you say back to the person exactly what they told you. Let's say I say, what did you like best? And you go, well, my knees have been really hurting. I've heard about stem cells. They could be great. I go, yeah, this could really help your knees. You know, this stem cells have really helped a lot of people with their knees. So you say it in your own words back to them. Again, you listening, and they feel heard because you repeat back what they said. And then the third question I call my $1 million question. And the third question is, I know you only watched a short video, but I'd like to kind of see how we fit. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your level of interest? So the real core question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, not how would you rate yourself, or you say, how would you rate your level of interest? If they're a 7 or better after watching the video, we know there's a good enough resonance and timing in their life, and that it's really worthwhile going forward with it. If they're 6 or lower, I usually leave the window open and I send them another video. I say, hey, you're a 5. That's fantastic. I'm positive. And let me send you another video, like, you know, horses don't lie. I think you might really enjoy this, because you mentioned something about, you know, having dogs or animals, or, you know, you can pick which one you want based on maybe some things in the conversation. Send them something and say, listen, if you really find that this next video interesting and you have any questions, my contact information is at the bottom. Get back to me. That's what I call leaving the window open, and you're sorting. You're not trying to convince a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're sorting. You're going for the 7 or better interests, and they're rating themselves. This is so powerful about this. They're rating themselves. You're not guessing. You asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your level of interest? And then when they say there are 7, 8, 9, or 10, I say 7's my magic number. It means we have a really good resonance. It might be something you're really, you know, resonant with and keen about. I'd like to introduce my team I'm working with, and that's when you do 3 ways. You should have a list of 4 or 5 people that in your upline that you can call, and you have a little introductory way to edify them, you know, saying, hey, they just got started, but they had such great results with their knees, or you know, or they've started really having success with their business, or whatever the little edifying sentence you have by each person. And you start calling and bringing in 3 ways right then. And that's the way that the team system works really well in follow-up. And 3 ways are what really, really work. So if you're not doing 3 ways, consider it. And what I want as a builder, in the beginning, you're making a lot of initial calls to your, you know, 200, 500, or 4,000 contacts that you have, to invite them to take a look. And then you're doing 3 ways with your upline. Once you have a team starting to grow, guess what? Your phone starts ringing with people of 7 level of interest who've already watched a video right in the moment, that are keen to know more. And we find that most people that are 7 or better level at that point will get involved in the business. You've got probably an 80% chance of bringing most of those people in, and let your upline put them to work for you, and to create a team and collaborative effort. And it works like a miracle. Whoops, that's the final thing. So there it is. Pretty much all I have to share. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop the share so we can see everybody. Kai, that was absolutely wonderful. And I wonder if anybody wants to raise their hand. We have a few minutes. We can't take a lot of questions, but if anybody wants to raise your hand and has a question or a comment for Kai, we'd love to hear from a few of you. So go ahead and just click on raise your hand, and we'll keep a watch out for that. And put it back on the group shot. Okay, there's CJ. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. That was wonderful. I already have 40 people under me that I'm training, that are getting other people and I've been in it since November. My grandson had broken his arm, and that's what got me started with it. He used the carnosine and the X39, didn't have any pain, and that was mind-boggling. But anyways, I like what he says about the three-way call. So I would probably be the person to do the three-way call, though I've never done it now. I didn't know about that step. So what would I be doing to help the person who's below me that's trying to help somebody? What would I be doing on that three-way call?
Okay, what you do is you teach the what I just said. Basically that they're going to sort, they're going to start calling people, have
Okay.
them watch a video, and then they ask the question, what did you like best? And then repeat back to them what
Okay.
they say.
So
And then
right,
so
excuse me.
they're going to basically have your number as well as some other people's. They should have, Gregory and Robbins and
Right.
other people, your upline.
And
number.
Kai's.
Yeah.
No. Well, you
Yeah.
want to go through the line of
Yeah,
leadership.
yes, I realize. And the person who's
So what
watching,
you do is
going through
you're
yeah, go
silent
ahead.
until they're going to introduce you, and the more powerful that they can introduce you, the more they edify you. We call it.
Okay.
Like here's I'm sorry, your name. I just
CJ.
CJ.
Yeah, I took my hand down. Sorry.
So let's say Karen is calling you with a 7 level of interest. They're only going to call you with
right.
that are 7, and that's why your business gets easier.
Okay.
And so they call you up and they say, here's CJ. She just got started because her son had such a powerful experience with his broken arm, and she's already got 40 people going in the business.
Mhm.
She's really qualified to answer your questions.
Okay. So
people, and their questions are always, I'd like to try the product and see if it works for me. It's always about me to see if it works for themselves.
right. And I realize if I don't know something, I can say, well, let me get back to you on that, or let me check with my people so I can get better answers for you. I know how to. I just thought maybe I had to follow a format or something that I need to have a structure there for the person I'm training that's under me, because I have like 10 right now I'm working with that are getting people under them. And I just want to do it correctly. I want to do it effectively. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation.
And CJ, what you remind me of is the need for us to probably do another training. And a little over a year ago, Kai did a wonderful training on how to do three-way calling. And we'll probably pull that in on one of our Monday or Thursday calls.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm out of town the next 2 weekends, and I'm returning on Monday business related stuff.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm
Okay.
in 4 businesses right now, and I want this to be a main business. So I'm a
All right.
teacher and a health provider. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, bless your heart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. It was
Uh,
wonderful.
We've got another couple of minutes for the bottom of the hour. Try and keep these calls at 30 minutes. Anyone else want to chime in, have a question or comment for Kai on today's subject matter? And if not, we'll kind of bring it in for a landing. There was a lot of good notes, and this will be available. It's available now on Live Younger's Facebook group, and it'll be available soon in our Live Younger YouTube channel. So Susan, you got a question or comment? Go ahead, and then after
I
that, we'll take
do.
Zipper. Go
Sure.
ahead.
First of all, thank you, Kai. This is wonderful. How would you follow up with, I want to try the product? What's your way to deal with that, please?
Okay, great question, Susan. And that's what you're looking for. Your job is, as the person getting the three-way, is to ask for the sign up and the sale. So I basically just say, it seems like what really needs to. Sometimes they'll ask that question. Sometimes I bring it up. It's and I might say, seems like you really just need to really try the product, and see how that works for yourself. We're so excited about that because people have life-changing experiences with our products. You can let's sign you up right now. Let's get you going. You can get into the whole thing of, would you like to be a customer or a distributor? Or you could just kind of pick which one you think is easiest. Everyone's going to mostly want to get it wholesale. So I just start, saying, let's get your product. The good news is it comes with a 30-day guarantee, and you can try with confidence. I don't say I don't use the word risk-free. I don't like the word risk. People hear a word and they get stuck on the word, even though the word had free after it. They hear risk. So I don't say try risk-free. I say you can try with confidence. We have a 30-day guarantee, and let's see how this product works for you. Let's get you going. Let's get it for your wholesale. You can either be a distributor or just try it as a customer first, whatever works for you.
Great.
That's great. Thank you. I love that. Try it with confidence. That's wonderful. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Gregory.
Yeah, you're welcome. Jennifer, you had your hand up. Did you want to say something?
I
Yeah.
just want to say, oh, I just get so inspired every time I hear all of you. But Kai, thank you. There's such a naturalness, and you're really listening. The subtleties of really listening and picking one thing to refer back to. It really anchors it for whoever is curious and looking into it. And it's just, I just really appreciate your authenticity and simplicity. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Beautiful.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Jennifer. Okay, a couple of more, and then we're going to bring it in for landing here. Patty, go ahead.
Yes, Kai, with all your experience that you have in network marketing, I'm a Canadian, and right now in Canada, we're faced with some major, I don't even know what's the right word, curveball. That has been
Challenges.
major challenges. And so I just appreciate some words of wisdom that you could give us to stay strong.
Yeah, that's, Patty, my heart goes out to you. It's, Health Canada is a really hard thing to work with. And I think it's going to be longer, honestly, than shorter. It's not a small thing, and it's not a little thing. My suggestion is that you try to get everybody who you've already got going on, not for resale, to get them on auto ship, basically, where they're getting the product every month, and drop the idea of trying to build a business in Canada for this period of time. It's just not easy to build and go through, because they don't even let you come in as a gold or a silver. It's just really problematic. But the good news is, Patty, is we are in 75 countries. And I would try to lock in my people using the product and loving it to be able to get their product in Canada. But I wouldn't try to recruit new people in Canada right now. I would put my recruiting time into the United States and to other places like Asia and other places, because and really try to find ways to reach out on social media or through your contacts in other countries, specifically the United States right now, because you speak English. But if you have international connections, this is the time to really put your recruiting effort in those areas, because it'll be so much easier. It's a little harder to get that started, but it can be very powerful. I mean, Ron Rayburn, one of our superstars, when we were opening up Thailand, started, going on social media and asking who knows people in Thailand, or, he had a couple of questions. He said, we're just opening up Thailand, and would anyone like to work with us from here? And he met a woman, Meta, in California, who was in the jewelry business, nothing to do with network marketing, never done it before. She sold gold jewelry, was retiring, and she saw the thing about Thailand. She was from Thailand, and she said, oh, that sounds interesting. And so he met her through social media. And now within 6 months, she has over 70,000 points a week coming in from her group in Thailand. 70,000 points a week. That's a lot of, that's over $150,000 of volume of business of dollars. And that was just, and that's building in Thailand. So maybe you could do something with looking in the United States for leaders or other places, not just in Canada. Think a little bigger.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kai.
Well, with that, I think I'd like to invite everyone to unmute and say your goodbyes. We're a little over the bottom of the hour, and thanks for joining us this morning. And thank you, Kai.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Kai.
Kai.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's wonderful. Learned so much.
Kai.
Thank you for all your help.
Thank
Gregory?
you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very helpful.
Very, very low key and very well targeted. I love it.
Very kind.
Enjoy your time in Montana.
Yes, enjoy your time.
Bye, everyone.